Guys, we are on the precipice of version 3.5. We already know this. We know that 3.5 is going to bring in the new character Dehya. I can't do a showcase on Dehya yet, but I can showcase the other unit. And the reason why I want to go into this unit, or this character, is a couple reasons. One, it's been not too long since he came out, and I think that we could kind of talk a little bit more after more testing. Like the first one I did was when he first released, and now that I've tested him out a little bit, I got a few more tips. Secondly, a lot of you who come to this channel might be coming because it's, you know, a new character to you. Maybe you haven't pulled Cyno, and honestly, Cyno is great. That's our introduction. Cyno is a great DPS in my personal opinion. We'll kind of get into that here in a little bit, but before we get into that, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified of when the next Genshin Impact video comes out, and of course leave a comment. Definitely would like to hear you guys' opinions, but without any further delay, let's go ahead, get right into it. Cyno, right? The knight, he's a good boy. We already know this, and honestly, he's voiced by one of my favorite voice actors right now with KAVEH Films, aka Cyno VTuber. Love his work. He's fantastic. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about how we could build this guy and what really works, and we'll showcase two teams near the end, so we'll try and keep this quick. So as you can see here, my stats are pretty decent. I always go for over 40% crit rate because I think that going over 40% at least with crit rate is the go-to. It's definitely one of those things to where like people may argue something a little bit different, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that doing a 1-to-2 ratio is the best optimal option, whatever you want to say. But if you're going for at least the most, or the least amount of crit rate that you would need to at least make it optimal, I think that 40% is your best bet. Now, I went with the 50%, and we'll talk about kind of the weapon choices and why I chose the way I chose the things that I did. But I went with a 50 to 201, almost 202, which is really good. That's honestly a 1-to-4, which isn't too bad. Energy recharge at 144%, 46.6% electro damage. Now, the big thing that you want to pay attention to with my Cyno here is making sure that you have that little bit of elemental mastery, because he's going to need that for what he's going to be doing. 311 is decent, but you know, it could have been a lot better, especially with what I rolled. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the weapons here. Now, obviously his best weapon is going to be the Staff of Scarlet Sands. And the reason why I say Staff of Scarlet Sands is because, again, it came out with him, and it's going to be a better option for that crit rate. Now, sorry about that, but it's going to be the better option because honestly, the Staff of Scarlet Sands doubles the amount of crit rate you're going to get. And honestly, let's say you wanted to run just that little bit above 40% crit rate, all you would need is the Staff of Scarlet Sands. It legitimately doubles the amount of crit rate that the Primordial Jade Winged Spear has. But I am using the Primordial Jade Winged Spear because the only other option outside of this would be Staff of Homa. And I don't think Homa is going to be a great option for how I built my Cyno personally, because of the fact that I'd be lacking that crit rate. My crit damage would be almost at 300%. But I think that the Primordial Jade Winged Spear is the best bet for the 5 stars. Now, if you're going to go with 4 stars, you can run a White Tassel because of the crit rate, which is really all that you're going to need for it. You can run Kaiten Cross Spear, which gives you Elemental Mastery, which is needed for Cyno. Or you can run the tried and true Deathmatch. Deathmatch, I think, obviously, is one of those ones that I think any polearm user can use. So if you want a free-to-play option, Deathmatch is definitely a good one. Well, not really free-to-play, but you get what I'm saying. Now, let's go ahead and talk about artifacts, because that's the biggest thing. You have multiple sets that you could run with Cyno, and I feel that's really with any character you could run multiple sets, but in this case, as you can see, I'm running 4-piece Gilded. You can run a 4-piece Thundering Fury for the electro damage. You can run 4-piece Glad. You can run a 4-piece Glad, even though it's boring and basic, but 4-piece Glad works well for just attack percentage. You can run 4-piece Thunder Soother. I've seen a couple people use it. I don't think it's the best option, but a lot of people can use it. But I went with the 4-piece Gilded. Now, As we were talking about before, as you saw, my elemental mastery was only at 311. It did get the 80 from there, but let's look at the 4-piece effect. Within 8 seconds of triggering an elemental reaction, the character equipping this will obtain buffs based on the elemental type of the other party members. Attack is increased by 14% for each party member whose elemental type is the same as the equipping character, and elemental mastery is increased by 50 for every party member with a different elemental type. Now, what does that mean? That means that you could legitimately, I believe it's 150. I could be wrong. Yeah, it counts up to 3 characters. So you could get an extra 150 elemental mastery. And that's the goal, is you want to get that elemental mastery up as best as you possibly can. So with this, it really works well. Now, for your main artifact like stats, you want to focus crits, so crit rate, crit damage, and then elemental mastery is the second, followed by attack percentage. Energy recharge is not going to be too big of a deal, and we'll kind of showcase why here in a little bit. But I went with the crit rate, crit damage. This one didn't roll with the elemental mastery that I wanted, which was kind of sad. And neither did this, and neither did this, and neither did this. And this kind of rolled with elemental mastery. But as you can see, this is exactly why my Cyno wasn't built entirely properly. But I was kind of under pressure. I needed to get this build ready to go. But he's not a bad build. He definitely isn't. He still works. Yeah. I have no constellations in Cyno, and I don't think I'm going to. I don't think it's entirely worth it. I'm not usually a constellation guy. The only constellation I really pull for normally is Ganyu. And that's because I'm a sim camp. Now, for this, I went ahead and did a 666. But you could obviously want to go up higher than that, in my personal opinion. You're going to need admonition, as I posted up before. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to get this because I think it's worth. And then obviously we're going to go with a little bit of shake and bake. We're going to go like right here. So, and I think honestly, yeah, let's go with a 678. As you can see here, I think that's kind of the go-to. You want to focus on your burst because your burst is going to be the most important part of Cyno. Now, his E is really good as well. Makes perfect sense why you would want to run his E. It really is what it is. But I will also say that his normal attack is pretty worth as well. And the reason being is because of the fact that you are going to be normaling a lot too. But the reason why his E is more important than his normal attack is because you will actually use the E a lot more when you're in your burst phase. And we'll get into that here in a second. First thing, obviously 4 consecutive spear strikes. His E performs a swift thrust, dealing electro damage to opponents along the path. When Cyno is under the Pack Sworn Path Clearer state, triggered by Sacred Rite, Wolf's Swiftness, he will instead unleash a monetary right that deals thunderous AoE electro damage and extends the duration of Pack Sworn Path Clear. That is why this is important to be in this burst, because the burst is the Pack Sworn, and when you use the E, it extends the timer, and not only that, but it does more damage. So you want to make sure that you hit it, but there's going to be a certain trick that you want to see when we get into that. And then, of course, his burst, Cyno's normal charge plunging attacks will be converted to electro damage that cannot be overridden. Cyno's elemental mastery and resistance to interruption will increase, and he gains immunity to electro charge damage. Now, this is important, and I want to highlight that that can't be overridden, which means that he works with Bennett still, which is perfect. So, now, as you can see, we're in front of Masanori as we try to do as best we can. First team we're going to showcase here is going to be this. Now, the reason why I wanted to showcase this team is because we're getting those 3 different elements, as we just see right here. We're getting 50, 50, 50, which is, I believe, how it works. It's either it's 3 different or 3, yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. But we're going to work this because I think that this could work, but I'm going to show kind of the, like, little bit of problems. This is what's called the Taser Cyno team. So we're gonna go ahead and showcase this. The main goal is to be electro or superconducting Masanori the entire time with Kazuha, which is perfect. So, but we're gonna showcase this just because I like this team a little bit. All right, so we're gonna get a little bit of energy here. Okay, so we got our burst there. We got burst everywhere. So, boom. We're gonna get our burst back anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, let Kokomi get hit. Bro, can you chill, man? Can you absolutely chill? Let's get our energy back right here. Come on. Gonna grab this real quick. All right, so we're gonna grab this. Now, this is why this is important. If you look, you could see this little wolf sigil come up right. Oh, I missed it. Not the wolf sigil, but you saw the little eye around there. I kind of mistimed it. So this little thing right there. As you see, when the eye lights up, you press your E and you could activate your E again. Boom. And it extends the duration the entire time, which is perfect. I kind of showcased that badly, but you get why Taser kind of works out. It's a really, really good team. But this is the team I kind of want to showcase. This is an aggravate team. It's going to do kind of the same thing. The only difference I'm going to make, I don't know why I have Sayu there. I'm going to put Yao Yao. Now, the problem with this team, obviously, as you can see, is I'm only going to be getting 100% extra elemental mastery, but we're going to be triggering that elemental reaction, which is what we desperately need. So the whole point of this is, whoa, what is going on with Kuki over here? Go ahead and do this real quick. There we go. Heal up Kuki real quick. Come on. There we go. I mean, it doesn't really matter for Kuki because we're just going to be using her to kind of get stuff going here. But let's go ahead and talk to Masanori again. So the main goal is to get as much aggravate damage as we possibly can. I wanted to showcase Yao Yao because I think Yao Yao is a really, really good healer. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this going. All right. We're going to activate Kuki. We're gonna get some energy going for our girl here. Get Uruguay going. Wait for it. Give us this again. All right, cool. Now let's showcase. Here we go. Stop it. There we go. Boom. Look at that damage right there. Oh, I went too early. And now my duration is going to be off a little bit. Boom. And you can even do it in midair, which is really good. All right, there we go. See how long that burst went for him? And it's not going as well from what I thought, but as you can see, the aggravate team is really good in the first place. Let's go ahead and activate. Now see how we only did like 22 on that one? Now watch. Boom! See how much damage that did comparatively to just your regular E? Ultimately with Cyno, you want to be very careful with how you do stuff. You can do the still charge attack too, but I don't think it's really worth. That may have sounded like a lot of mumbo jumbo, and I do apologize for that, but really, as you saw, the Tase Cyno is still really, really good. This kind of aggravate team that I did was aggravating. It didn't really work out the way that I thought it would. And we still test here. Like, we're still testing this stuff. But as you saw, aggravate is still really, really good. But you do really want to focus on having those different elements or elemental beings on the team. That's what's really going to help you get that damage. But again, if you want to run just aggravate, it still works out. Just make sure that if you are using Kale or Dendro Traveler or even Nahida, I think Nahida might be a better option for that. If you're running any of those characters, make sure that you have Dendro applied. That's going to be the crucial thing. And in this team, you don't really entirely need Kuki Shinobu, in my personal opinion, but Kuki does kind of help out. If you're not in burst, it gives you that electro DPS in that sense without having to worry about it. Honestly, if I had to choose anything when it came to that team, if I had to switch out somebody, you could honestly switch out Yao Yao for Bennett, because the fact that even at C6, which my Bennett is at, where is he at? There he is. By the way, happy birthday, Bennett. Even with Bennett's burst, right? Which is going to give, what was it? I think a 50%. My Bennett's terrible. Don't look at him. It's held the character AoE is 70%. Yes, imbues. We already know that. This is from my C6. But it'll heal you up to 70%. And also, really, it gives you the attack bonus that you kind of need based off of Bennett's attack. Which is really good. And the C6, like I was talking about before, this C6 will give you an extra 50%. Well, it's 15% pyro damage, but yeah, that's the only thing that kind of sucks with that, is that you're not getting that bonus, but you are getting Bennett's bonus attack, which is perfect. But again, because of Cyno's ability to not be overridden because of the burst, you can use that Bennett. So I seem like I'm rambling on, but overall, Cyno's a good DPS if you want a DPS character. Would I choose him as a DPS over Dehya? Probably, to be honest. And we'll get into Dehya's, you know, build guide when she actually comes out and I'm able to actually produce a build guide. But honestly, guys, I have to say it. There are plenty of other DPSs, in my personal opinion, that outperform Cyno. But Cyno's a good character. Cyno's a good DPS in general. And I wouldn't fault you for going for Cyno. Plus, he's voiced by an amazing voice actor. So overall, love Cyno. And I'm pretty sure if you guys summon for him, you will too. Now, guys, that's going to be it for today. Again, I would love you all to death. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to entertain you. If you guys haven't done so already, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Hit that notification bell to be notified. And, of course, leave a comment. Would love to engage with you guys a lot more. I need to do that more, and I do apologize that I don't do it as much. I do plan to do it more. It's just... yeah, it's been a hellacious past month. So, but anyways, guys, love you all to death. And as always, we will catch you guys in the next video. Please take care and be safe, y'all.